For 2025, GM did a mid-cycle refresh for the Tahoe and Suburban, and I wanted to show you guys the differences between the 2024 and 2025. That way you have an idea of what you're getting extra and the changes that they made. I borrowed these from Seiner Chevrolet here in Salt Lake City. This is available. This is a 2024, however, it looks like this Suburban here is sold. Let's go ahead and check out the pricing and then we'll jump into the video. So really quickly, I'm going to show you side-by-side comparison for the pricing. This is for the Tahoe. Now, as far as the LT model goes, there's no change from 24 to 25. I will say, however, if you are looking at the 24s, there's probably some rebates that you can get or special financing, so be sure to call Seiner to see if that's the case. Now let's go ahead and start off on this 2024. You guys can see, even back then when they redesigned the Tahoe, they did a great job overall on the front end. Reflective style housing for the headlights, full LED. Now on the 2024, they do not have the animation, so when you go to unlock it, it doesn't give you any nice dance or anything like that. But for 2025, they did add that. So right out of the gate, you can see that the headlights have a totally different design. They did go from reflective style to a projector style. And when you go to unlock it, check out what happens with the headlights. They give you this animation, and it's cheesy for some people. I mean, most people won't care. And it does the same thing for the taillights as well. But look at the grille design on the 2024. Very clean, very subtle. And they made it a little bit more bolder for 2025. You can really see that right here on this trim piece here. They both have what looks to be a black essentials package, which blacks out that bow tie for you. And notice how on the 2025, they brought back fog lights. So for 2024 and earlier generations of this Tahoe Suburban, they didn't have fog lights. And I actually missed that when I did my reviews on the 2025s too, but you can still see those parking sensors on the front end. They did add an extra one off to the side here. On 2024 and earlier, they didn't have that. Now for 2024, they did have this flow through the fender liner, and that was pretty much a carryover on that 2025, and it adds a nice style to the front end too as well. Now you guys can see your marker lights have a different design. They still come standard with the same Michelin tires, 18-inch wheel, although the design is slightly different for 2025. Hopefully you guys can see that. Let's get a little bit closer. You can see that design is just slightly different. As far as the mirrors go, there is no difference on the mirrors. You still have this, it looks like a polish trimming on the side, and that doesn't change. Smart key system for the front and rear doors. And the only difference back here is there's just a little bit more length on this Suburban. 28-gallon fuel tank. Now out back, let's start off on this Tahoe. You guys can see they don't have the windshield wiper showing. You can pop this glass right here, and of course backup camera right there, and you're gonna have a power lift gate, so nothing really changes overall in regards to that. I'm gonna pull them up a little bit further so you guys can see the whole back end of both of them, so you can see a good side-by-side comparison too. I wish they were both white, but on the 2024, they do give you some chrome trimming. That is no longer there on the 2025s, as you can see. Now, I'm going to show you a RST. I'm not sure if the LT would be the exact same, but it looks like they give you a black trimming between those tail lights, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be the same for LT. If not, I'll clarify that at a later date. But if you get closer to the 2024 model, they did use incandescent bulbs for like your brake lights, turn signals, and reverse lights, and then you have a LED accent light that they used. For 2025, they went completely to LED, and that was a huge improvement in my opinion. I'm really happy they did that. I'm not sure why they did that when they redesigned it. I guess to try to make it a little less luxurious compared to the Yukon and Escalade. But as I said up front, you still have those animations on the taillights, full LED. They look really good. And the same story here, you still have this glass that opens like this. You can see where the windshield wiper is, it's hidden up there. And of course you have more storage out back. Power, third row seat on both sides. Actually, let me just make sure that's the case on this 2024. So yes, they are power, and that's going to be the exact same for the 2025. You have to hold the buttons too. They don't just come up by themselves. And nothing changes for this 2025. You still have to hold it for the seats to come up, and you have that same storage below the floor out back here. For 2024, they did not have this parking sensor that you see on the side here, and that's just good for helping you to pull into the garage. Also, here is the new antenna compared to 2024. There were no updates on the powertrains for 2025 for the gas engines. However, the diesel did receive a big overhaul. But on the LS and LT trims, you are going to get that 5.3 liter standard, and the LM2 diesel will be an option for that 2025 LT. Now, the further you go up the trim levels, you start to get that 6.2 liter as an option, and then the further you go up, it becomes standard equipment like on that high country. The 5.3 liter is going to have 355 horsepower and 383 pound-feet of torque. The 6.2 liter is going to have 420 horsepower and 460 pound-feet of torque. That engine does recommend premium, and that LM2 Duramax is going to have 305 horsepower and 495 pound-feet of torque. All three engines do have the 10-speed transmission behind it. 323 rear end. I'm not sure if the diesel has a 323. Sometimes they do put a little bit lower gearing on that because it does have less horsepower, and I think that's sometimes why they do that. Let's go ahead and check out the interior, because I think most of you guys are excited about the differences that they did on that. So we're going to go piece by piece, starting with the doors. I can already tell some differences on the door card. I'm pretty shocked by that. I wasn't expecting it, but just take note of some of the controls that you see here. And you have auto up and down for the front windows, auto down for the rear. It still has the power folding function even on an LT trim level. And let's go ahead and check out the 2025. So where you can see the differences is on this trim piece here. And note how this one does have the seat memories. Same story, you have power folding mirrors, and you have the auto up and down for front, auto down for the rear. And the trimming here looks to be the same, it's just a different design. And then down below it's pretty much a carryover. Now let's go ahead and check out the seats. So you can see here, leather seats, and they're not perforated for 2025. Let's go check them out for that 2024. So both SUVs do have a 10-way seat, including the lumbar. No perforated leather. Something you've noticed probably from year to year is they are cheapening up some of these automobiles. I don't know why they're doing it, but they're taking away a few things. Now this is slightly different. Let's check it out for the 2025. They restyled pretty much the entire dash right here. They both have this Chevrolet kick plate. Now the next thing I want to show you guys is the center console. Let's check it out for the 2024. Totally different. Even this styling here is different as well. And something I noticed, oh my goodness. So the steering wheel is a lot thicker in the 2025s. It's so much thicker. So you have your 12-inch, and this is a 10.1, I believe, too. Let's go ahead and check out what you have for the 2025. That is a 17.7-inch display. Here's where the push button start is. Let's go ahead and start it up. It's a little cold outside. It's windy too. Heated seats, heated steering wheel. And I don't know if you can even tell from the camera, but this steering wheel is a lot thicker. Now this screen did get smaller. This is an 11-inch display, but I mean, you have 17.7 versus 10.1, so I figure it's not a big deal. Now, one thing I like about this screen is how intuitive it is. They did take some of your controls and hide them in here. For example, like your universal remote, so your home link that would normally be up here is now in here. Some people will love it, some people will hate it. I'm pretty sure you can add this somehow, somewhere, that way you don't have to go through all these menus. So I'm sure you can probably put it out here somewhere in that case. Like there it is right there. You can probably put that button somewhere. But again, it's not hard to get to. It's just 2 buttons that you have to push inside the screen, and then you're there. They give you all of your climate on the screen. Also, they do the same thing down below. Let's check it out for the other SUV. So you can pretty much tell it's a lot bigger right here on the 2025. The only negative for some people is your heated seat buttons are gone for 2025. They're pretty much on the screen now. They always stay illuminated, so they're always there, but for some people that might be a negative. And I don't know, maybe for some. They both have the availability. They have the twin panel moonroof, which is a huge plus. And let's go ahead and talk about the gear selector. This is new for 2025. Like when they did this back in, I think it was it 2021 is when they released these, I believe it was 2020, somewhere in there. A lot of people did not like this, and I didn't like it at first, but then as I used it, I'm like, it's not that bad. It's pretty dummy proof for sure. And I'll show it to you guys here in a second on the 2025, but you still have 360 camera on both sides. Just take note that all of this is just restyled completely. You lost this little storage, which I never even understood what it was for. And you guys see where the push button start is? Let's go ahead and check out the shifter for the 2025. So there it is, pretty easy to use. All you have to do is pull it towards you. That puts it in neutral. If you pull it towards you again, push up or down, drive, reverse. Your 360 camera layout is different too. I think I like the old one better personally. I'm just being honest here. I don't really like it on the 2025. I think they should have stayed with the same orientation for these. It's easy to learn, but I just think it's a little bit more confusing for some people. Like, I don't like it. I think that what they had for the 2024 model year was better. But yeah, it is what it is. Now, wireless charger, you guys pretty much saw that for both sides, the USBs. This has a light right there, hopefully you can see it. USBs, and then removable tray. I believe this might be a little bit bigger, I think. And then I'll just show you guys the side. This is all restyled, obviously. Let's go ahead and check it out for the 2024. So yeah, just slightly redone. And normally you don't see this much done on a refresh, but they did a lot for sure. And it looks like I was wrong. This is pretty much all the same. It looks like it's the same size and everything. Now out back, let's go ahead and see if there's any changes. Here is the door for the 2024. And 8-passenger, you still have your armrest, outboard heated seats, you have those Type-C USBs. This is a 3-zone climate control, and then you have a 120-volt power plug down here. Let's go ahead and check it out for the 2025. Same controls, same armrest, same headrest, and the door again just slightly restyled on the very top piece of it. And it's the same story out back. You still have the Type-C USB on both sides. And the only differences on these two, but it's because of the twin panel sunroof, is the air vents. That's the only thing that's different. But I hope you guys liked the video. I'm willing to bet you will have some people trading up to the 2025s, especially the ones who bought the first model of this generation. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. Make sure your bell notifications are on. See you guys soon.